whiskers. Oh, my ears and whiskers. I'm so dreadfully late. The Queen would have my head. The Duchess will have the rest of me for soup. Is she gone? I lost a hideous creature at last. You there, guards, guards! I wish to report a travesty, a felonious malfeasant with unsavory designs toward my person and property.
When did you notice you were being followed? Speak English, please.
I want to report a stalker.
Don't tell me. A short, bald fellow with blunderbuss and speech impediment.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Wrong story! No, I'm being pursued and harassed by a young lady with short blonde hair. She's followed me down a rabbit hole, invaded my home, wrecked my ceiling, stolen my gloves and fan, and caused me to be terribly, inexcusably late.
When did you notice you were being followed? Write this down.
Precisely 15 minutes after 1 o'clock. I had just noted for myself that I was running 37 seconds behind schedule. And then she appeared.
Can you give a description of the reprobate? Write this down.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, hideous fashion sense, questionable hygiene, and a penchant for destroying everything she bumps into. And given her deplorable lack of grace, that's easily everything in her path.
Just the facts, please. Right?
Hard to say. Somewhere between 2 inches and 25 feet, depending on what she's recently eaten or drank.
Speaking of, have you had anything to drink? Recently, that is.
Oh, the insinuation! The nerve! I haven't the time for this. I'm very late.
So, what's proper procedure for habitual offenders?
Standing orders are to report habitual offenders to the Queen.
And then what?
Most likely, off with their heads.
Jolly good. Well, let's do that.
You, sir, are an idiot. Write that down.
Oh, bother! Oh, my! I wish that rabbit would stop long enough that I may ask him the way out of this place. Surely it can't be the way I came in. I've no idea how exactly to fall up a rabbit hole. She'll be so very late for supper. I hope somebody remembers to set out a bowl of cream for Dinah. She'll be missing me very much by now. Tracks! Rabbit tracks, if I'm not mistaken.
It's open.
Are you Mr. Spade?
No. Mr. Spade is my dad. I'm Spade. Or Ace if you want to be cozy. Have a seat. What brings you here?
You look familiar, Mr. Spade. Have I seen you someplace before?
It's possible. I've been someplace before. How can I help you today?
Mr. Spade, I'm looking for someone.
Aren't we all? Anyone in particular, or Lenny someone do?
I'm looking for my brother Jack. I haven't heard from him in ages, it seems. He's no longer at his old address. You know, I fear something terrible has happened.
How long has it been since you last spoke with your brother?
Oh, several months, I'm afraid. He's no longer at his old address, and we were never terribly close as children. He left home a few years ago.
Well, why are you looking for him?
My father passed away recently. It was his dying wish that Jack and I reconcile. Well, Jack is my only living relative. And we find him, tell him of our father's passing, board of the family again.
I'm sorry for your loss, but you've come to the wrong place, Mrs.
Valentine. Regina Valentine. And it's Miss, not Miss.
Miss Valentine. I've been down this road a few times before, and I've learned that when a man doesn't want to be found, there's usually a good reason. Dragging him back into the light isn't doing him any favors.
Oh, please, Ace. I'm so frightened. Jack may be ill or in trouble. If something were to happen to him, I don't know how I could.
And it's no use turning on the waterworks either. All the crying in the world won't change the facts.
Don't you have a heart?
Go fish.
I have money. I can pay you. What do you say to double your normal fee?
Lady, I don't know what you're...
Triple.
I suppose he could be sick or hurt or need help. Okay, Miss Valentine, here's the deal. I find your missing brother Jack and tell him of your father's passing. I tell him the sister misses him. If he wants to make contact, well and good. If not, he keeps his privacy and you get assurance that he isn't dead in a gutter.
Thank you, Mr. Spade.
And we're back to Mr. now. I'm gonna need brother's old address, a list of known associates, and some cash up front. Loosening tight lips is likely to be expensive.
I'm sure I'm very sorry. Could you tell me how I might find my way home?
Impossible. Out of the question.
Why?
We don't know where he came from, no how.
Contrary-wise, if we did know where he came from, we want to know how he got here.
I followed a rabbit. You haven't by chance seen him, have you?
Tall, pale fellow, long ear, waistcoat.
That's him! Oh, please, have you seen him?
Not today. Contrary-wise, at least not yet.
He'll be along presently. He has a schedule he doesn't vary from no how.
Would you mind if I waited for him with you?
Waiting? My sister and I aren't waiting. We've chosen this hour and this spot for our battle, which we were about to begin, but then you interrupted us.
Oh, I believe I recognize you both. Tweedledee and Tweedledum agreed to have a battle, for Tweedledee said Tweedledum had spoiled her nice new rattle.
You just had to go and post it on Facebook, didn't you? Now the whole world knows!
On it.
I need your
I'll
help!
report you to the Queen herself!
Please!
Guards!
Let me-
Guards!
Oh, for heaven's sake! Hug it up and make up you two!
What is going on here? You two look like a couple of Downton Abbey fans after season 3 ended.
We had a familial dispute about things that didn't matter no how, and almost demolished our fraternal bonds.
It was those self-same bonds what allowed us to see past the bitterness and forgive each other.
Well, that advice of young girl, subscribe straight she did.
Where'd she go?
I reckon she went to follow that white rabbit she was so keen on finding.
I'd turn the crank, and the lid would pop open, and out Jack would spring. That is, until one day, my sister sat on it here, and she crushed it.
I did not sit on it. I tripped and I fell, and it left a nasty bruise on my backside. It did.
Why is it whenever you break something, it's always accidental or someone else's fault?
Because I'm not an ugly, mean-spirited troll, unlike some family members I could name.
You take that back.
I'm sorry.
That's better.
For any trolls I may have offended by comparing them to you.
That's it. Game on!
I should have asked for more money.
Oh, thank heavens, food! I'm famished.
No room! No room!
There's plenty of room.
Well, then have some wine,
I don't see any.
because there isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table.
Of course it's my table.
It's set for a great many more than 3. I'm looking for a rabbit. Have you seen one?
Nope.
Just him.
Are you mad, Hatter? I'm a hare. A March hare.
Mad? Of course I'm mad. You're mad. We're all mad here.
You're mad, bro. Don't be mad, bro.
Shut up.
You need a haircut. You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why are you looking for rabbits?
Only one rabbit, a white one in a waistcoat. I need him to show me the way home. Have you seen him?
Now and again, here and there. My turn. Why is it raining like a rising gas?
Riddle. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean you think you know the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might as well just say, I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say, I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing with you. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
Oh, 2 days wrong! I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It's the best butter.
Yes, but some crumbs might have got in it as well. Fix this. What a curious watch. It tells what day of the month it is, but not what o'clock. Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not. That's because it stays the same year for so very long together, you know.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't know what you mean.
The dormouse is asleep again.
Change places.
Change places.
Change places. Change places.
Change places.
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
All right.
Think you might do something better with the time than waste it asking riddles that have no answers.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
I dare say you never even spoke into time.
Perhaps not, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
That's it. He won't stand for a beating. Now, if only you kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you like with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just in time for lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint at a time, and round goes the clock in a twinkle. 1:30. Time for dinner!
I only wish it was.
That would be grand, certainly, but then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know.
Not at first, but you could keep it 1:30 for as long as you like.
Nope.
Is that how you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March. Just before he went mad.
What?
It was at the great concert. Given by the Queen, and I had to sing. Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat. How I wonder where you're at. You know the song, perhaps?
I've heard something like
It goes on like this. Up
Just
above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, 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 twinkle. Shut up. And then the Queen jumped up and bawled out, "She's murdering the time!" Off with her head. How savage. Right? And ever since then, time will do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here?
Yes.
Then you keep moving round, I suppose.
Exactly so.
All
As
wrong.
things get used up between whiles.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Gosh. Can we change the subject? I'm getting tired of this. Have some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Ooh. Who's making personal remarks now?
I don't think.
Then you shouldn't.
Stupidest tea party I ever was at in all my life!
More sugar.
Hey, no room!
Take it easy. I'm not here to crash your party. I just want to ask you mugs a few questions.
The mugs aren't very talkative. Rather poor conversationalists, all in all. Now the silverware. Well, it's hard to get a word in edgewise.
The knives especially are a sharp conversationalist.
Okay, I see. Couple of jokers.
No, man.
How about I just deck you one? How would you like a pinochle sandwich?
We have plenty of sandwiches, but we're running low on cake, though.
Now see here.
Which is it, sea or hair?
Both! Looking for a man named Jack. Either of you two know where I can find him?
Jack. That fellow up the beanstalk.
The one jumping over candlesticks.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back.
No more.
Wrong stories! So neither of you two know a Jack fellow? Why am I not surprised? Have you nitwits seen anyone unusual recently?
Ugh, just that particularly rude girl. She was looking for someone too. Who was it?
If I recall, she was looking for a rabbit. Oh. You both might be looking for the same person. A jack? A rabbit?
If you two... 2.5. Think of anything else, let me know. Here's my card.
Ugh, I'd rather have a pinochle sandwich.
Yeah. Monty.
No room?
Sight of that rabbit. I haven't seen school in ages, it seems. No signposts, no turnstiles. How does anyone manage to find their way in this land? I wish you could talk, Tiger Balloon.
We can talk. When has anyone worth talking to?
Can all the flowers talk?
As
many gardens before, but none of the flowers could talk.
Put your hand to the ground. Then you'll understand.
It's very hard, but I don't see what that has to do with it.
In most gardens, they make the beds too soft, so that the flowers are always asleep.
I never thought of that before.
That's in my opinion, you haven't anything at all. I never saw anybody that looked stupider. Hold your tongue, as if you ever saw anybody. You keep your head under the leaves and snore away then till you know no more what's going on in the world than if you were a bud.
Are there any more people in the garden besides me?
Just the egg upstairs. He's the main reason we live in fear of falling.
It's very provoking to be called an egg, ragweed.
Can it, omelet?
How uncivilized.
Of course we're uncivilized.
We're wildflowers.
Why are you sitting out here all alone?
Why, because there's no one up here with me. Did you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask enough.
Aren't you afraid of falling too? Don't you think you'd be safer down on the ground?
What tremendously easy riddles you ask. Of course I'm not afraid of falling. There's nothing safer than a good long fall. It's the sudden stop at the bottom that terrifies me. However, even if I did fall, which there's no chance of, but if I did, the king himself has promised me to
send all his horses and all of his men?
How do you know?
She's been stalking you, bud. Get it? Stalk? Bud?
We'd appreciate if you'd leave off the puns.
Weed and leave. Good one.
Shush.
I'm not a stalker. I read it in a book.
Reading, nasty habit. But yes, all of his horses and all of his men, they'd put me together again in a heartbeat. However, this conversation is going on a bit too fast. Let's go back to the last remark, but one.
I'm afraid I can't quite remember it.
Me neither. What is your name?
My name is Alice, but...
Alice. Weird name. What does it mean?
Must the name mean something?
Of course it must. My name means the shape that I am. And a good handsome shape it is too. With a name like Alice, you could be any shape almost.
Rather a lovely view from up here.
Oh, indeed. From up here, one can see the comings and goings of all of the kingdom.
Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a great deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where,
Then, it doesn't matter which way you go.
so long as I get somewhere.
Oh, well, you're sure to do that if you only walk long enough.
I'm looking for a rabbit. Have you seen one?
The Queen's royal messenger?
That's him. Oh, please, I must find him. I followed him down a rabbit hole and somehow got myself trapped in this strange kingdom. I need him to show me the way back home.
I haven't seen him today.
Oh, dear.
Because today is the royal croquet match. His fuzziness will be delivering the Queen's invitation to the Duchess, and his route won't pass by here. However, if your feet are nimble and light, you may be able to intercept him at the home of the Duchess.
Would you tell me, please, how I can find the Duchess?
Look yonder, past that valley, to the east. Do you see that palace?
I believe so.
That is Club Diamond. Never will you find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Wrong story!
Okay. The Duchess presides over an establishment dedicated to the amusement of the easily amused.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And be careful up there. Even with the king's promise of assistance. Better to be safe than sorry, you know.
time-consuming. And will you please lay off the puns?
Lay, good one, eh?
Spade, good fellow. You look worn out.
Hey, you dumps. I'm beat. And I've been shuffled from one bad league to another.
Girls of the working class, I suppose. How is the investigation business faring?
It's keeping me busy. Say, Dumps, I'm looking for a man.
Hans wheel, sugar.
If you find one, send them our way. Real men are in short supply around here. They're shaped somewhat like you, but more masculine, you know? Now, Violet, don't get sappy. Sappy, good one, Daisy.
Pipe down. Before I decide to pick a bouquet for my girl. As I was saying, Dumps, I'm looking for a man. A fellow named Jack. You know him?
I know of several. Just across the way lives Jack Horner. Decent fellow, bit of a gourmand. Then there's Jack Spratt. He has certain dietary restrictions. Him and his wife.
The Jack I'm looking for may be injured or in trouble.
The only injured Jack I know is currently laid up with a slight concussion. Fell down a hill while searching for water. Not the brightest child, but still, he can't be as dim as that girl who was just here.
You don't say.
I do. Oh, I do say. She asked the easiest riddles. Why am I sitting up here alone? Am I afraid of falling? Have I seen a white rabbit? How to leave the kingdom? All easily answered, and I didn't even get a prize.
Curious, sir. Isn't there where I look for this Jack fellow? Seems this dame has beaten me there. Did you give her name?
I already have a name, which suits me quite well. I'm nothing like an Alice. Whatever an Alice is.
Did you say where she was headed?
She asked directions to the Duchess's palace, and I obliged.
Thanks, Dumps. I owe you big time.
Nonsense, good fellow. Who was it who took me on those hay rides and to all the harvest parties last autumn? Who was it who made it the most enjoyable of seasons for me? It was you. You owe me nothing.
I'm glad you had a good time, Dumps.
Oh, indeed. I had a great fall.
You're late. I don't think I've ever seen you late before.
Where is the Duchess? I have an urgent message which must be delivered post-haste.
Yeah, right. It's always urgent, always post-haste. Keep your waistcoat on, Whitey. She'll be down in a minute. Want a drink while you wait?
Lemonade. Make it a double, if you please.
Wow. Never seen you hit the hard stuff before either. Must be one rough day.
I don't wish to speak of it. Ah! Was this squeeze yesterday? I wish you wouldn't leer at me so. It makes me nervous.
It's a grin, Whitey. And it's when I stop grinning that you should be nervous.
You don't frighten.
And do you want to touch more spice? There's nothing less appetizing than a bland soup.
Your Grace, Her Majesty the Queen has requested your presence today for tea and croquet. I am to return with your answer.
Deliver my apologies to Her Majesty, but inform her that I still feel the after effects of her death sentence from last week, and do not feel up to having my head chopped off today.
What? How? Why, if I were to take that message to the Queen, she'd have me sent to the executioner.
And if you stay here, I'll send you to the cook.
Mr. Rabbit!
Oh!
Mr. saw him, but every time I try to ask for his help, he refuses to stand still long enough. It's dreadfully discouraging.
Well, when I find myself discouraged, which hardly ever happens, mind you, but on a rare occasion when it does, I find it helpful to gather my thoughts over a company bowl of soup. Cook, bring this young lady a bowl of soup.
Gracious, what kind of soup is that?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Black pepper stew.
It's nothing like a well-seasoned soup to lift one's spirits.
Cake or pastry might be better at cheering somebody up.
Well, of course. However, I didn't say there was nothing better, I said there was nothing like it.
It's all the same. I think I'll pass on the soup.
Cancel the soup.
No soup.
No soup. Soup. Thank you.
He's a talented cook. Every other day he makes jam. Had you arrived yesterday or tomorrow, you could try some.
That does sound lovely. I'd like to try it sometime.
So would I. Unfortunately, there is jam yesterday and jam tomorrow, but never jam today.
But certainly it must come sometime to jam today.
No, it can't. It's jam every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know.
I see. Is there nobody here who can help me?
Well, let me see. There's a very knowledgeable caterpillar to whom I should introduce you. Please follow me.
Hey there, pussycat.
Hi, stud.
Am I shrinking or did you grow a few inches today?
No, I'm standing on a rabbit.
Any specific reason why?
Because he's not tall enough to sit on and still see over the bar.
Makes sense.
And I don't want him to see you and take word back to the queen.
Oh, that rabbit.
Seriously, Spade, you shouldn't be here. You're risking a lot by just showing your face.
Couldn't be helped, pussycat. I'm on a case of getting colder by the minute. Thought I'd drop by and see if the old maid might be able to toss me a fresh leaf.
Spade, I wish you wouldn't poke her for information when it's this busy.
Perhaps you're right. She does have a full house right now.
And who are you?
I really don't know, sir. Just at present. At least, I know who I was when I woke up this morning. But I fear I must have changed several times since then.
And what do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I'm afraid I can't explain myself because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see. No.
I'm afraid I can't put it any more clearly, for I don't understand it myself. And going through so many changes in a day is very confusing.
No, it isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but you will one day when you turn into a chrysalis. And then after that into a butterfly. I should think you'll find it all very confusing. Won't you?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would be very confusing to me.
Yes. But who are you?
I think you ought to tell me you are first.
Why? Right? The Duchess has asked me to share my wisdom, so I have something to say. Keep your temper.
Is that it?
Why, of course. You mustn't lose your head.
Why ever not?
Because around here, losing your head leads to losing your head.
How totally unhelpful!
What were you expecting?
I was hoping for instructions on how to find my way home.
I am a purveyor of wisdom, not of directions. If you're looking for something you lost, you should make the acquaintance of Spade over by the bar.
Excuse me, ma'am, but are you Spade?
That's a pretty personal question, don't you think, kitten?
My name's Spade. What can I do for you?
I seem to have lost my way.
You went first, sister. Just last week I had a client who lost her way. Courage, too. Turned out to be the work of a pretty nasty spider. I thought we sent him down the river?
No, up the water spout.
Right. Well, I can round up the usual suspects.
No, sir, not my way. I'm lost. I can't find my way home.
Your name wouldn't be Alice by chance?
Well, yes, it is. How did you know?
That, sister, is an interesting story. I took a case earlier to find a missing man named Jack. I was led to believe that Jack may not want to be found. He's looking to pull up stakes, head trigger pastures. I've been chasing bushes and trimming a rock across half. And you know what I found?
Leaves in dirt.
Cute kid. Everywhere I look, nobody's seen this Jack there. Nobody even knows him. But everyone's caught some innocent-looking girl looking to leave town.
Really? Maybe she and I could... You mean me, right?
Now, I don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty good at what I do. When I go looking for one thing, keep finding something else. I have to ask myself if the two things aren't connected. Maybe Jack is working with Alice to give everyone the slip.
Please, sir, I think you misunderstand.
Or maybe Jack bought a cheap wig and an ugly dress and is trying to pass himself off as Alice. Which is it, sister? Or brother?
This is utterly ridiculous! To think I'm obviously not a man! What are you doing?
We'll take it from here, Mr. Spade. We know who we have here. It's the notorious knave of hearts. Wanted for crimes of high treason against the crown.
And for terrorizing weddings.
Knock that off. Well, got anything to say for yourself, lass?
I'm innocent! I'm no knave!
That's what they all say. Right back that way. Not now yet, yet. When we get back to the castle.
All right.
Unhappy! You have the wrong person! Let me go!
Ace, what just happened?
I'll tell you what just happened. I got played for a sucker. I let greed cloud my thinking, and because I didn't use my head, that kid might lose hers.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Fix it.
Ace, wait!